How y'all doing? This is SHU AMUN RA, and this is a special early morning video. This video is based upon why do you think you're supposed to be in this relationship with the man or the woman, and the man's supposed to not engage with another human being when you do not practice monogamy? The reason why I'm using this word monogamy often lately is because I started studying the word monogamy. It's a practice. It's not a given. I'll say it again. It's a practice. It's not a given. Now, because it's a practice, and if you ain't practicing monogamy, how you going to expect a person to give into you? Now, you use words like I just stated, given. You got submitted. But is these words are in the dictionary, and is monogamy in its definition? See, if you're not reading the words properly and its content, guess what? You don't know what you're doing because you don't practice these certain things. And this is just a fact. That's just a given factor. And this is one of the biggest problems that we have as black people. I'm not worrying about everybody else. That's real talk. I'm talking about black people not practicing monogamy, but using words to describe what the other person's supposed to be doing. And you did not, and I will quote, you do not tell the person or ask the person, mainly, do you practice monogamy? Because if you tell this person, or you speaking to the person in the beginning of your relationship, and you're saying, do you practice monogamy? That gives them a choice to practice monogamy. Your average person practice polygamy. Now, the reason why I say that is because even if you didn't tell the person you with, if that other person have sex with another person, well, guess what? They're practicing polygamy. They're not practicing monogamy. Because when you look in the dictionary what monogamy means, it means you are having sex with one individual. That means you're spending time with that one individual. That's it. But either one of you, excuse me, if either one of you sleeps with anybody else, and there is no excuses for what you do everything by choice. Because you don't practice monogamy, you don't understand monogamy, you don't understand polygamy, but you practice it unwillingly that you're doing it. You're going, well, I'm not doing it. If you still in a relationship or a bond with another human being, and you, let's get this clear, and you decided to have sex with somebody else and still continue having sex with that person, you are practicing polygamy. It's got nothing to do with that, oh, he's not paying me no attention, oh, she's not giving me enough sex. It got nothing to do with that. You are practicing on your own on what you're doing. So a lot of you do these things and you have no resources of how you operating. Now I state this, if your mother and your father is not practicing monogamy, you don't know what it is. If your mother don't have a husband and you grew up in a one parent household, you're not going to practice monogamy. Only thing you're going to hear is the perspective of whoever's your guardian. And most likely, it'll be your mother like that, right? Most likely. Now, some of you live with your dad. Is he going to tell you to practice monogamy? See, fathers would tell their daughters, oh, don't be sleeping with a bunch of men. But that's not practicing monogamy. Now, fathers would tell sons, be careful with a lot of these females. And if you do have sex with a lot of females, make sure you protect yourself. Okay? There's fathers that do that, and we know that's a fact. Now, are they practicing monogamy? No, they're not. Usually fathers tell their sons that, and they're practicing polygamy. Because the son, he's like, oh, my father said I could do this. Now, if he doesn't have a proper guardian, there'll be somebody who will sit there and tell him the wrong information, just like his father would. Listen here, you can sleep with all these women, stay single. You see, listen to the word. They will use the word stay single, and the problem is a lot of these people don't practice speaking the truth and saying, I'm a promiscuous person. They don't use that word, promiscuous. So they use other words to sleep with other people. And the main word they use, you know I care about you. You know I love you. And the person, they hear this, for some apparent reason, they get hypnotized. So 90% of the time, you're practicing polygamy. And, okay, I'll drop it down a little bit more, just to be fair. 70% you practice in polygamy without being conscious or aware of you doing it. And then you want to get into a relationship, and then majority of the time, you have sex with this guy or woman, right? And guess what? You sleep with the guy and you go, oh, it feels good. Then you say to yourself, I want it again. Then from that point, with the mistakes that you make, is that you're not talking to the man or the woman and tell them, do you practice monogamy? You're not telling them none of that. Do you practice polygamy? You're not making that clear. That's the problem, brothers and sisters. That's one of the biggest problems. You're not speaking on what you're doing. And that's just calling it for what it is. You're not practicing these things. And you're damn sure not talking about it. That's just a fact. You're not talking what you're supposed to be talking about. You're only telling each other different stories to impress each other. And don't get it twisted. Most women, I don't care who they are, they're not going to tell you the truth. It's going to sound like it, but they're not telling you the truth. If a woman tells you what she really was doing, let's make it clear. Most of you men would not be able to handle it. That's just a fact. It's a fact. And it's just a fact, brothers and sisters. Are you practicing monogamy or polygamy? I'm gonna get more into it because a lot of you don't understand what you're doing. You don't understand why you're in a failure. Your relationship's a failure. You don't. Your relationships are a failure because you don't know what you're practicing. You're just doing. You're just in an action relationship. Let's be honest. You're not in a relationship that you practice, that your parents practice, your grandmother and them practice it. Because if you are constantly failing, not only just that, you live in a society the way society tells you. I'm SHU AMUN RA. Peace out.